Hey, what's up everybody? Kicking off a fun little new series today where basically we're just gonna dive into Ableton, unscripted, and I'm gonna share all of my top tips and tricks on music production with you guys. So lots of technical stuff, lots of creative thinking stuff, how can I trust my gut and intuition when making decisions? And basically I'm gonna try to transport my brain back 8 or 9 years and make this stuff very simple and fun for y'all. Because that's what it's all about, right? We wanna have fun with the process so that we actually stick with this craft. And if I have one goal for this series, it's that you will actually stick with music production, because I can tell you it is 100% worth it. It only becomes more fun over time, and it's just changed my life in so many ways for the better. So let's do it. The first thing we're gonna do in Ableton is open the browser on the left with Control-Alt-B and search for a kick sample, right? We're starting a new track, we're gonna get a kick in here. And when you're choosing a kick, my advice is just stupid simple, right? Pick one that you actually like, that feels good in your gut, rather than thinking, is this commercially releasable? Is this too short? Is this too long? We'll touch on that stuff, but if you're making music, I assume you have good taste, so you really need to trust that taste, right? So let's just see what sticks. I'm liking a couple of these. I really like this AT Fluid one, so let's get this in here. We can click the sample and zoom in with Z if we want. And now we've just got one little kick here. Let's loop it, Control-L. I'm gonna boost our BPM to about 132 or so. And I will show you guys probably something I do with, 90–95% of kicks. A lot of kick samples are already very maximized, like fully maximized and very loud. So they don't necessarily need to be pushed more, but they need just a little bit of sculpting. So we have our kick here. I'm just gonna label it and color code it right here. You can choose a color and then right click again, assign track color to all clips to make sure everything in the lane is that color. And I'm just gonna duplicate it. And for this one, we are just gonna shorten it a little bit. So a lot of kicks, they tend to ring out a little more than necessary. A lot of modern kicks, it is true, are fairly short as well. So basically, we're just gonna drag this in, get rid of the tail, and we'll see, are we still getting the impact here versus the initial one, or does it sound different? So this is the first one. This is the second one. It sounds pretty similar, right? So again, the first one, the second. Right about there. If we go too short, it's not going to sound like the same. Yeah, we're not getting any oomph anymore versus the first one. So I think we've already made an improvement, right? And we can see if we click and drag, our kick is, if you look at the bottom of Ableton, it says duration 241 milliseconds. Versus before, we were at like 400 milliseconds, which is a really long kick. Right now, this is kind of a medium length kick. A modern kicks, a modern short kick would be under 200, even under 150 milliseconds. So just something to keep in mind. As we go to add bass, then there'll be more room in the mix for that to come in after the low end of the kick plays. So we've got our kick, and there's many directions you could go from here. There's also many rabbit holes you can go down. One thing I like to do is just kind of drop a simple pattern, right? If I've got something in my head, right now it's kind of a 4 on the floor vibe. So let's just, get this over, make a simple 1-bar loop, right? Now we've got, maybe we could do it again. Maybe at this one here, we have a little double hit at the end, pretty common tactic in electronic music. Now we have this. Right, I'm already starting to groove a little bit. I'm already starting to move. If I wasn't, maybe I just picked a kick that's a little floppy, a little bit weak. And again, many directions you could go from here. You could just say, this is fine. Many Dead tracks have been started in this way. We're already halfway there. We could go on to the bass. We could go on to the chords. But if you're still in the flow state, like I'm still feeling kicks right now, so, let's keep going with kicks. And one thing is we have very good relative hearing as humans, but not the best absolute hearing. So I often like to make just a couple of quick variations. So, we've got kick 1, we'll duplicate this one. This one could be kick 2. One idea that comes to mind is we're in techno now. So maybe a little bit of reverb in the low end, just like 10–15%. I like to use Valhalla for kicks, but you could use the stock ones as well. Just a little bit of atmosphere. I'm already feeling that the track wants this, right? You know, we picked a techno kick. I'm starting to feel sort of, you know, a little bit of dark atmosphere kind of coming into the studio. So now we've got kick 2. Let's make kick 3. For this one, I'm going to select them all, press Control J to consolidate. And we could experiment with, you know, some subtle pitch differences. We could go down a couple semitones. Let's exaggerate it a lot. Right now it kind of loses the sonic quality. Go up a little bit. You know, maybe during a break we could have a pitch change in the kick and then go back up. You know, I like to use fifth relationships a lot, so maybe I would go +5 or, you know, +7 or -5. But I actually think I'm really liking kick 2 right now. Like it's speaking to me so I'm just gonna delete, right? One of the most important muscles you can develop as a composer is pressing the delete button. Honestly, keeping a clean project is going to do huge things for your brain. So we've got our main kick, and there are quite a few little tips and tricks that I want to just quickly toss in, because, you know, let's find like a kick that's not quite as powerful, like something that's a little bit simpler. Like this one. This is kind of a short boy. So Ableton's drum bus, if you feel like a kick needs a little more meat, it's not quite there, can be a really good choice. I'm going to group this and put a limiter on the channel. So Control G to group, just so we don't blast out our ears as we're making changes. And then Ableton's drum bus. So with this, you know, this kick sample here with the drum bus off, and then with it on, you can start turning some knobs. Let's loop this. You can make it boomier. You know, if you're making like a big room EDM track, the transients knob can be very useful. Right? Just finding quick variations if you feel like your sample is close but not quite there. Transient shapers can also be very good for that. I like the KHS Transient Shaper. I think this is a free plugin, but if you feel like you need more or less click, you could boost the attack for more click. Or pull back for less. You can make the sample longer. You can also use Ableton's clip warping capabilities, right? We could warp this clip. We could start dragging it out. Kind of a weird glitchy effect, or we could shorten it. A ton of possibilities to be created, right? Or a ton of possibilities to be explored, rather. But the key is knowing when you're going down a rabbit hole, right? I feel like I'm starting to just get carried away with, you know, sidetracked a little bit. And I wanted to mention groove and sort of ghost kicks, right? So it's a pretty common tactic in electronic music to have your main kick loop like we do. Let's delete everything else here. And then have a ghost kick. So this is going to be maybe 1 or 2 dB quieter. And for this one, let's zoom in. Let's maybe make this a bit of a softer feel. And maybe this one will have even more reverb. Let's make it even a lot softer. So this is our ghost kick that can hit, you know, wherever we want. Where's Ableton bringing us? Maybe right here at the end, it just hits. Let's see how this sounds. And if you can think about the groove of your track early, because in electronic music, and definitely techno for sure, I'm not that we're necessarily running a techno track, but groove is so important. So the earlier you can start to, again, trust your gut and start getting some initial ideas down, it's going to pay dividends later. You know, we could keep going with this. We could maybe make another kick. This one will be like a FX delays kick, where let's just pop on the delay plugin and just turn some knobs, right? Sometimes it's just good to turn knobs without thinking too much. Let's just make this one 100% reverb, super sort of, I don't know. Let's see how it sounds. Sounds pretty bad. So let's get rid of the reverb. Right? Maybe we could have this one hit on the one or something and just turn it into a little bit of an effect. We could add something else. Like maybe we could add Ableton's corpus. I don't know. It just popped in my head. Let's get the reverb back on there, actually. Okay, so now we've got like a little bit of a ominous type gong. And I feel like the track kind of wants that too. So a big thing that I've learned is sort of just turn your brain off sometimes and start turning some knobs. And so sort of just stepping back now for a second, thinking high level, what are we doing here? What is our goal? Are we making a track? Are we just experimenting with kicks, having fun? If you go into the DAW every time and your goal is to make the best song of your life, you're just setting yourself up for a pure disaster. So having very small, specific, achievable goals is going to set you up for success. So right now we're just experimenting with kicks. I'm showing you guys some cool tips and tricks, and that's it. Then we can, go to bed happy, right? I did good, brain happy. So there are many, many other things we can cover on kicks. I'm sure one thing you guys are wondering about is the key of your kick, right? A lot of people are saying that you should tune them to the bass. Other people are saying you don't have to. Everyone's got an opinion on that, and I would like to share mine. You can find the key of your kick by using Ableton's tuner. You could also just look in the spectrum. So this is Voxengo Span. It's a free plugin. The fundamental frequency that it's decaying to is the note here. So let's see. Looks like G. Let's see if Ableton's tuner agrees. Yes. So if we were to go to our bass line now, a very reasonable place to start would be having a sub that's in G, especially for a genre. Certain genres, I think it's more important to have your kicks tuned. So something like melodic techno, or if you look at like Eric Pridz's productions, which are very mathematical and clean, the kick is almost always decaying into the same frequency that the sub is in. Now, let's say you're making like an industrial track. One of my samples is coming to mind. I'll just pull it in here. That's like, you have this super, super heavy kick that's really long. There might not even be room for a sub bass. You're making industrial techno, you're in a dark club, you're hitting people in the chest with a big, powerful boom and some transient. They're not thinking, did he tune his kick? So again, experiment around certain genres. Like if you're making let's say you're making like a poppy like rap track or something. You have like a fat 808. That 808 decays to a certain frequency. A lot of times it sounds good when the kick also is that frequency. Again, I find it's a little bit genre dependent, but don't overthink it too much. Again, trust your gut so you can actually get on with writing the track. And so what I'm going to do now is just press save on the project, and I'm sort of just checking in with myself, right? I feel like I'm starting to hit a little bit of a wall personally. Like I think I need to go eat breakfast. So that's what I'm going to do. When I come back to this session, I'm going to know exactly what the next step I need to take is. Maybe it's adding a top loop. Maybe, a bass line pops in my head while I'm making some eggs. The key is to make sure that you can kind of figure out the workflow that works for you. Otherwise, you're just going to go into the DAW, you're going to hit a wall, and you're going to leave frustrated. And that's not fun for anyone, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought. And I'm going to keep going with this. Probably next we'll do baseline or top perks. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you at the next one. Peace.